Good morning, all. I'm Dr. Sumit Agrawal, Head of the Department of Commerce, GemTech Greater Noida. Today, we will discuss a topic of nature and scope of human resource management. So, we will discuss in first part of the lecture the nature of human resource management and another part of the lecture the scope of human resource management. So, human resource management is a process of recruitment, selection, training, and development, performance appraisal, and motivation of human resource working in an organization. So there are several natures of human resource management which one must study in order to gain the knowledge about what is human resource management. So one by one we will discuss different nature of human resource management. So the first nature of human resource management is that human resource management is a pervasive function. Pervasive functions are those functions which are required at each and every level of management, from the upper management to the lower management. At each and every level of management, if function is required, it is considered as a pervasive function. Now, in case of HRM is required at the top management also, at the middle management also, and at the lower level of management also. So that's why HRM is considered as a pervasive function which is required at each and every level of management, because human beings are working on each and every level of management. That's why HRM is required at each and every level. Second thing is that human resource management is action oriented. It believes on action of human being to achieve the organizational goals as well as the goals of the individual and the society. So that's why human resource management is considered as action oriented. Third one, human resource management is considered as people oriented. Basically, human resource management deals with the management of human resource, the well-being of human resource, the empowerment of human resource, so that best of the human resource can be used for the increase in the performance of the organization, as well as making the employee empowerment, so that we can get the best of the human talent. So that's why it is considered as people oriented, which focus on the well-being of the workers or the employees who are working in an organization. It is an integrated mechanism. Integrated mechanism means integrated efforts or the coordinated efforts. In case of HRM, integrated efforts of various departments is required to motivate the people so that they can do their 100% for the success of the organization. So coordination is required between different individuals who are working in an organization. Integration is required, and that's the work of human resource management to create integration between the employees and the workers working in an organization. Human resource management is future oriented. They are preparing the future talent for the organizational success, and that's why it is considered as future oriented. Human resource management is also a continuous function. It is required at each and every time in an organization on day-to-day basis. So that's why it is considered as a continuous function, because it is required on a day-to-day basis and on a regular time for the success of an organization. So that's why it's a continuous function. It is a multidiscipline activity. It requires input from various disciplines so as to motivate the employees to do their 100%, to do their best, and that's why it is considered as a multidiscipline activity. Next nature of HRM is considered as a part of the management discipline and the field of the study. These are debate whether HRM is a separate discipline, or is it a part of management discipline. But most of the scientists and researchers believe that it is a part of management discipline and not a separate discipline, and it can be studied as a field of study rather than as a separate discipline. Now, HRM has a universal existence. It is required at each and every industry which exists in a universe, whether the industry is IT industry or a education industry or a retail industry or a hospitality industry. Every industry, whether big or small, they require human resource management. So that's why it is considered as universally existent. One of the important function or nature of human resource management is that human resource management is directed towards the achievement of objectives. The objectives of the organization, the objectives of the individuals, and the objectives of the society. So it is directed towards achieving the objectives of the organization as well as individual and the society. Now it is development oriented. The focus of human resource management is to make the employee more powerful. So it focus on employee empowerment by different trainings programs, by different development programs. The aim of human resource management is to make the employee more empowered. Now, human resource management is considered as a mixture of art and science. It is both art as well as science. There are certain functions, there are certain principles, there are certain techniques which are used in HRM, and that's why it's a science. But there are different managers behave in a different situation in a different way. That's why it is considered as arts also. Last nature of human resource management is that human resource management is dynamic in nature. Dynamic in nature means we change according to the change in the business environment. Nowadays, business environment is changing at a very fast rate. Technological changes, cultural changes, geographical changes, legal changes, stability of the government. So there are changes which are occurring at very fast level and which require HR policy also to be very dynamic in nature in order to attract the best talent in an organization. Human behavior is also changing very fast because of change in the education, change in the value system, change in the culture, and different other changes. That's why it required a dynamic human resource management. These are the certain natures of the human resource management we discussed. Now we will discuss in the second part the scope of human resource management. So scope of human resource management is divided into three parts: the personal aspects, the welfare aspects, and third one is the industrial aspects. So first we will discuss the personal aspects of scope of HRM. So it is concerned with manpower planning, recruitment, selection, placements, transfers, promotions, training and development, layoff, remuneration, incentives, productivity, etc. So these all factors are considered as the personal aspects of scope of HRM, which deals with the individual. So that's why they are considered as the personal aspect. Manpower planning is the planning for future requirement of manpower in an organization. Recruitment is a process of attracting more and more persons to apply for a particular job in an organization. Selection is a process of selecting the best person in an organization. Placement is placing the right person at the right time in the right place. Transfer is movement of workforce from one place to another, maybe in a different department of the same organization or different areas where an organization exists. Promotion is increase in salary or increase in designation. Training and development are required for employee empowerment. Layoff means uh, making a person out of the organization. Remuneration are the salary part, which can be fixed salary or a variable salary. So these are the different factors which are considered as the personal aspects of human resource management. In details, we will discuss all these factors later on in their own topics, but as a brief, these are the certain factors which are considered as the personal aspects of human resource management. Now comes the welfare aspects of human resource management. So welfare aspects are the other aspects rather than the personal aspects or the salary part. It deals with the working conditions and the amenities such as canteens, restrooms, crèches, housing facilities, medical facilities, child education, health and safety of the employees, recreation facilities, and other fringe benefits. It is related with the welfare of the employee. How a company can give welfare to their employees by providing them different facilities like recreation facilities, health and safety of the employees and their family members, providing restroom, providing crutches, providing housing facilities for stay of the employees and different other things which are related with the welfare of the employee, which is not included in the salary or the personal aspects. Now, the third one is the industrial relation aspect. It is related with union management relations, joint consultants, collective bargain, grievance handling, disciplinary procedures, settlement of disputes, etc. So it is related with the disputes between the industries, dispute between the employees and the employers, and various other things like joint consultation, collective bargain, and different other things which exist between a management and the workers, management and the employees, between one industry to the other industry, and this is considered as the industrial relation aspects of human resource management. So this is all with the scope of HRM. So in this topic we discuss on basically the nature and scope of HRM. What's the nature of HRM and what's the scope of HRM? And that's all with your today's topic of nature and scope of HRM. Have a nice day.